actually am looking over on the shelf right now and there's a little boy with a backpack just staring back at me because he's like, you forgot me in your haul because you know you bought me at the Savers. Give me 1 second. My family calls it my superpower. It's my ability to see value in things that other people might overlook. Sometimes I go picking with my boyfriend, sometimes it's my best friend Sue, and sometimes it's my kids. But at the end of the day, it's all about having fun and hopefully just maybe making a profit. Okay, I've got my most recent haul out on the table here. This is everything that we got from the second part of our Savers adventure. And you guys know I feel very strongly about Savers and not in a good way. After we went to the Savers in Rhode Island, we kind of hopped over the state line into Massachusetts, where we visited 2 more Savers. And we kind of putzed around a little there. The prices weren't as outrageous, but it was the weekend, and I don't think that they were really actively restocking stuff because it's the weekend and they were probably like not staffed to restock the shelves. So there are a couple things to be had. I probably could have walked away from all of this and not really blinked an eye, but I decided that I wanted to get a couple things just to list up in my shop. So I'm gonna make my money back. I'm not gonna make a ton of money back, but we're gonna go over real quick everything I got. Anyway, let's get to it. So this over here was probably one of the first things we came across, and they're wall hangings. You guys know I love my wall hangings, my vintage wall hangings. These are actually marked Illinois Molding Company, and I like them. They're vintage. This one's got deer on it. This one, I can lift it up without dropping it and killing everything else on my table. Let's see. This one over here has flowers on it. So they're nice, they're vintage, they look cute on the wall. I was actually gonna try to hang them on the wall behind me before I started the video, and I'm like, that's just too much work. So I did not do that. But I paid $7 a piece for them. You know, that's probably a little too much, honestly, for making a good profit. I could have walked away because I'm just, in my head, the hassle of packing and shipping and all of that, I probably should have walked away, but I didn't. And I paid $7 a piece. I can probably get $25 a piece for them. And that's how much I'm going to ask for them. So I'm going to be making money on them, but shipping them is going to be a hassle. And that's one of the things that I like think about in my head when I'm buying stuff. I'm thinking like, okay, so I'm making this much profit, but that's gonna be a pain in the butt to ship. Do I really wanna like ship that? And that's kind of what goes on in my head. So yeah, moving right along, let's keep going. So this little, it's just a little dish, a lidded dish. It is not chipped. You guys know I suck at like looking stuff over. This one is not chipped. Now it is marked Srbna Druta. And I did find some similar pieces online. I did not find a lidded dish, and the prices are just all across the board on this. I've never seen this brand or mark before. I think on this piece, I took the stickers off to list the stuff on Etsy prematurely, so I think we paid $2 or $3 for this, and I think it's actually listed. No, it's not listed yet. I think I'm going to be asking 18 to 20 based on what other people are asking for similar pieces by this Srbna. So it's just like a cute little dish that would go on your vanity. It might actually be like for powder or earrings if you have earrings. I don't have earrings. I don't wear earrings. This is one of those pieces that I should have probably left there. It was overpriced, honestly. For resale. It was overpriced for resale. It was not overpriced for the collector. For somebody who just liked it, it's not overpriced. But I don't know. Okay, so I paid $3 for this. I paid $3 for this, but it's a creamer and sugar, and it's marked Bavaria. What I like about it is not only does it have this kind of vintage retro, is that going to focus? Probably not. It's got this vintage retro floral design, but it also has this design in the porcelain. It's like this incised, really dainty design, and that's what I liked about it. And I like the way the lid is. I just love that little knobby lid. I was like, you know, she was like, no, Jocelyn. And I was like, yes, Andrew, it's going in the cart. And that's exactly where it went. So I paid $6 for that. I'm going to ask 18. I'm going to ask 18 on that because it is made in Bavaria and I like it. So moving right along. These, on the other hand, no, these are Lefton, not Ivy. I keep saying Ivy. I don't know why I keep saying Ivy, but they're Lefton Holly salt and pepper shakers. And I paid $3 for them. I knew what they were at the time. I did not in my head know what they go for. They go for about $4. So I'm gonna make my money back on these, but unfortunately that's about it. They are cute. I don't know how long they're gonna sit in the shop because Christmas is over, but took a gamble on those because it's like, oh, aren't those cute? Oh, they're gonna sit. And you guys see me buy these a lot, and that's kind of one of the things I wanted to talk about in this video. Is some of the stuff that I buy, I think, comes from nostalgia. You know, growing up as a kid and seeing this stuff around my house. My mom used to collect these, and I think that when I see them, I just cannot help myself. I have to buy them. It's just a thing, and I want them to be worth more than they are, and that's not always the case. So I already took the stickers off these. I want to say we paid $2 a piece. I got 2 bears. They're worth $10. I mean, there's profit there again. It's a nostalgia thing. I just cannot help myself. I see them and I'm like, I can make money there. But honestly, it's really not enough money. Whereas if I saw something else on the shelf that I didn't really have a connection to, and I knew that that was gonna be my return on it, I probably would leave it there. But for some reason with these, it's like, okay, I have to have those. So these are brown bag cookie art, little just sugar cookie molds. I have to have them every time I see them, and I see them a lot. They're from the 80s. So, I don't know. My mom used to collect them. Now these, again, nostalgia. Fenton is like a huge nostalgia thing for me. And, oh gosh. So growing up, my grandma used to have little Fenton figurines all over the house, like everywhere, like all the time. And when I see Fenton, I have to have it. And that was kind of the case for these bells. Like I see Fenton, I know Fenton. Like that's Fenton, that's Fenton, that's Fenton. So there's this whole shelf full of bells. And I'm like, that's a Fenton bell and that's a Fenton bell. And so I picked out the only Fenton bells on the shelf. And they were probably overpriced again for resale, but it's that nostalgia thing that I've had to have them. So I paid, I want to say, I paid $4 for the Spanish lace bell. It's a silver crest Spanish lace. Whenever, this is, you guys are like, that's milk glass, Jocelyn. Whenever you see the clear around the edge, that would be considered silver crest. Now I do have quite the collection of silver crest. I don't know why, but I like it. I like it a lot more than milk glass. I like the elegance of it. And I came across it one year at a yard sale. I came across the cake plate with the silver crest, and I'm like, oh, I like that. And now every time I come across it at yard sales and whatnot for super cheap, I buy it. So now I have the cake plates. I have the cake, the big pedestal cake plate, and I just keep acquiring it very cheaply as I come across it. So this is the Spanish lace pattern. Paid $4 for it. How much is it worth? It's worth $10. So after fees and the hassle of shipping and the shipping supplies, am I making money on it? I'm maybe making $1 on it, but I had to have it because it's Fenton. This is the Daisy and Button custard glass Fenton bell. He still has his ding-a-ling. Maybe. Yeah, he doesn't want a ding-a-ling. Again, had to have this one. This was not as expensive as the Spanish lace. I think I paid $3 for this one. He might actually glow under black light, and you know, I don't have my black light handy, but that would be a fun thing to do someday. Well, I'll pull out the black light and get some of my glowy glass together, and we'll make it glow. That will be fun. This one is worth about $10 as well. So again, had to have it. And you know what? At the end of this video, we'll go downstairs and I'll give you a peek in my collection of Fenton that I've acquired. Because every time I come across the figurines that I just have to have, I always buy figurines when I come across them for cheap, like at thrift stores, and I usually hoard them. This right here is another Fenton belt. This one is hand painted with strawberries. This one, it has an opalescent rim, and only paid $3 for this one, which was kind of weird because this one's more valuable than those ones. It is hand painted, and I believe that is why. This one's maybe worth 15 as opposed to those ones only being worth the 10. And it does say hand painted. It has the original stickers, and it's got its ding-a-ling. So I do like the strawberry one, but I'm not really into bells. I'm more into the figurines, so I'm willing to let those go and not stick them in my china cabinet. Although I do have bells in my china cabinet, but they came from my great aunt, so they're not going anywhere. So yeah, I think that was my haul for this trip to Savers. Again, not one I'm super proud of, but again, we've been through this. I like to be transparent with you guys and talk about, okay, this is what I got. Not something I'm super proud of. And actually, I'm looking over on the shelf right now, and there's a little boy with a backpack just staring back at me because he's like, you forgot me in your haul because you know you bought me at the Savers. Give me one second. He's talking to me across the room, and it was uncomfortable. This little guy, I bought this at the Savers as well. It is marked N, I believe it's Noritake. And he's got a backpack on, and it goes all the way through. I think you could probably stick flowers in there if you wanted to. Maybe a pen, although that would be weird. Be like, hey, I'm hauling around my pen. I think I'd rather have like little flowers sticking out of his backpack than a giant pen. But it's just a little kid with a backpack. I can't remember off the top of my head what I paid for this. And honestly, I haven't even like taken pictures of him yet. I don't know why he doesn't have a price tag on. I probably paid $2 or $3 for it. That seems to be the common trend here. $2 or $3. I would list him for, I want to say 10 to 15. That's like my figurine price. That's usually what I list figurines for. So yeah, cute little boy. Definitely, you can tell by the paint that he's Japan. Usually when they're German or English, it's just once you've looked at enough of them, you can kind of look at the way they're painted and you can see the difference in quality. But this guy is very darling when he's not staring at you from across the room. Anyway, this is my haul. Again, it was okay. I'm gonna make my money back. I'm gonna make a little bit more than I have into it. Not like super exciting. And actually after this, I'm gonna film my sold videos to make myself feel better. I'm like, oh yeah, I did make money here and there. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you guys next time. Later. Okay, I did not forget it. As promised, here is some of my glassware. Now this is a mishmash. It is not all Fenton, but I do have some figurines. As you can see, I have this little fox I made for Drew for Christmas with the kids modeling clay. The little cup my mom bought me when I was a baby, my initials on it. I've got some Fenton figurines, lots of carnival glass. I love carnival glass, and now I can buy it cheap because the prices have just dropped. So for collectors, that's always a good thing. And I love carnival glass. So I've got a Fenton bridesmaid back there. I've got some of the bears. I've got some open lace stuff down here. I've got a shoe. Now a lot of this did come from my family through a very messy estate. And I just happened to end up with it through a lot of messiness. But I'm very happy that I have it. So there you go. Ta-da! My glassware, some of it, just a bit of it. Oh, and Drew's dad actually gave me this little spaghetti down here, and I love him and he lives here. I do collect spaghetti poodles and spaghetti critters, but this is the only one I have right now that is not in a box because we are still unpacking. So there you have it. This is some of my glassware. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you've spotted something that you just can't live without, don't worry. I've put a link to our Etsy store down in the description.